are 200 miles of tunnels right underneath our feet.
They're holding the remains of 6 million corpses.
When I was a kid, we had a piano that looked exactly like this. I used to play it all the time. The A4 key was messed up.
Scarlett is on a quest. She's looking for this particular artifact, this stone, which her father had spent his entire life and failed to try and find. So that is her motivation throughout the entire film. It kind of doesn't stop until after a certain point. Her motivation is the responsibility that she has for the other people's lives, that she feels she's brought into this very dangerous situation without really thinking it through. And the relationship with Benji, who is the cameraman, which I thought was important to constantly keep reminding the audience that you're not, you're not the fourth wall. We're constantly breaking it and turning around and talking to him, which I think is really the great thing about this kind of filming.
As above, so below. So if they carved a door on the ceiling...
There's got to be a door on the floor, too.
Yeah, someone hand me a rock.
Wait, we are in the bottom of the catacombs. There's nothing below us, sorry.
This is the floor, then where is all that water going? There's a way out.
I'm not going in there.
I think a great deal of the movie is about history and about personal history, or at least inevitably it becomes that. And I think each character has sort of their own iteration of their own personal history and how it relates to this. For her, it's motivation to get down here. For my character, in a way, it's to get out of here. Each character has something. There's some kind of connection that they have to this place or to getting the hell out of it.
This is a trip. What's going on?
So, did I hear this right? Because we're a big video game site. Did I hear right that Tomb Raider could have been a bit of an influence in this story? And if that's true, if so, can you explain perhaps how?
It was in a way. Like, really, we wanted to do more of a, we saw it more as a, like, Indiana Jones-esque. I'd say that was more of an influence for us. But Tomb Raider, obviously, like, it's such a, Lara Croft is such a great character and so interesting, and we wanted to do something a little different than that, but
she's such a badass female lead, and I mean that's maybe the one kernel of inspiration there, is we wanted a badass female lead too, but maybe more in a someone who's straight out of academia, who's like a professor who's fearless and an urban explorer in a similar way, but there's some overlap, but it's really more of an Indiana Jones kind of inspiration.
Well, I also, though, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I did kind of at times almost felt like there was kind of a video game quality of the idea of like different levels you have to go through, and sort of there's by virtue of found footage, but there was almost this kind of like first-person shooter kind of thing. And a few times, like the running down the hall and hitting things. Was that something you guys were conscious of? I mean, or am I just surrounded by video game stuff too much that I see it and never really know?
A little of both. We love playing with perspective. That's always been one of our and the kind of first-person games do that so well, and we really wanted to have characters have head cameras, and we actually mounted cameras to their heads and let them interact in the scene, and so you're seeing the real actor moving around the space. We didn't double that very often, and so and the levels too it's I'd say that's Dante's Inferno had kind of the levels of hell, and we liked that kind of progression through the spaces.
Yeah, we really wanted the space to evolve as we went, and so, there's a lot of stone corridors, and we didn't want that to become repetitive. So the deeper we go, the more the space kind of changes, and so, in a sense, the levels existed for that reason too.